If God had given me a choice, I would rather be in a car accident. Not when I was the most unsightly slut of my life, meeting my sworn enemy again. A car accident brings them together again after years apart. The archenemy in the car, dressed up. But I was miserable under the car. Because of my poor self-esteem, I wanted to pretend to have amnesia and let it go. I didn't expect the other person to say that he was my fiancé, and that they were getting married. What was this? Why would he say that? What's his purpose? 2 men came looking for him at 3 a.m. They said, "Do you know why we're here?" The young man said that I would be paid tomorrow, and that I would be paid 3,000. The burly man sneered and punched him in the face. 3,000? You're kidding us. Do you know how much you owe, kid? His head hit the side of the table. He fell to the ground and shouted, "Oh, it hurts." The young man hugged the pain and sighed, "I don't have any money, but what I have is for you." The man smiled and said, "I'm not here to do anything but to introduce you. In less than 2 years, you can pay off your debt." The young man protested, "I am the alpha." The man laughed and said, "You should be lucky that it's an alpha, because many big bosses want to play alpha at once." Looking at you, I knew your face would sell for a good price, especially when the alpha rolls around so little. Tell me. When I first met you, I felt like this face of yours could sell for a good price. The boy looked at that man, then quickly take the cigarette. With a strong swing of his arm, he hit the other man's head. Without stopping, he used his foot to step on the glass door. Use force to break the glass. "Well, drinking water gets teeth when it's bad luck," he muttered, feeling funny about his situation. Ling Yun Fan, 22 years old, alpha. The boy ran out. Inside the man booed, "Caught it. Don't let him get away." The young man turned and walked. Then a light flashed in his face, and the car honked. The car's headlights are shining straight at you. The car went to the bad guy. The boy fell headfirst into the street. He thinks that even if he gets hit by a car, at least he won't get caught. If the car owner has a conscience, maybe he can take me to the hospital, pay for the medicine. He wants to know who hit him and he'll pass out later. Car accident related, you should respect this. His name is Ji Kang Hai, he is 22 years old, alpha. Are you okay? His face was so surprised. Why him? If I am guilty, let the law punish me. Not when I was the most unsightly person in my life, seeing Ji Kang Hai again. 6 years ago, Ling Yun Fan, a 14-year-old alpha, was a handsome, outgoing, friendly character at school, the object of most people's affections. Ji Kang Hai is cool, mature, also alpha, also loved by his classmates. If you say that you are sad, then only the merchant marine block. Practice sports together. Do sports. They are two completely different types of people. He is also an opponent that everyone knows. From studying to exercising to competing, fighting everywhere. Ling Yun Fan's most unreceptive control was, almost everyone who confessed to him had not turned around for a few days to run towards Ji Kang Hai. You are both safe and sound in the dark, until the end of time. You're talking about Ji Kang Hai, who's in love with a new transfer Omega, who's in love with him. Ling Yun Fan is full of confidence waiting for the results. Did you swear to God that you'd be in the top 10? Why was Ji Kang Hai crushed? Ling Yun Fan, please shut up. Alright, this is the top 2 of the year, give me 10 more heads. Ling Yun Fan is drinking. He seems to be smelling something. This is A. What about pheromones? Ling Yun Fan asked if everyone smelled anything. It's the smell of a cake. They smell nothing but sweat. You're hungry, aren't you? Ling Yun Fan said he was not hungry. Ling Yun Fan thought of something. Ling Yun Fan went ahead. He suddenly remembered something he had left in the classroom. He went to a room where he smelled. If I'm not mistaken, this smell is an amazing Omega pheromone. Ling Yun Fan stood in front of the door and asked, "Are you okay?" Ling Yun Fan opened the door, thinking that the person inside had not fainted. There was a person sitting with his face down. Ling Yun Fan walked over. "Classmate? Are you okay? Are you taking your suppressants?" He looked up. This wasn't Omega all day like the shadow of the merchant sea. What a pity this is. Ling Yun Fan wanted to go to the infirmary and call the teacher, but the Omega pulled over and told him to wait. I couldn't call the teacher and I would be forced to drop out. I've been taking my meds. It's okay for a while. Omega falls into Ling Yun Fan. There was a hand holding Ling Yun Fan's shirt and pulling it backwards. Ji Kang Hai knocked Ling Yun Fan's body away with her hands. Ji Kang Hai grabbed Ling Yun Fan's shirt in anger. Did you mark him? Did you bite after that? Before checking out the second feature, our relationship was clearly not like that. Because the two of them are the same alpha, there must be a struggle between the alpha, like fire and water. Ling Yun Fan pushed Ji Kang Hai with her hands. I haven't touched him yet, you can ask him yourself. Let go of me, stand and let me hit you. Ji Kang Hai breathed a sigh of relief. Ling Yun Fan pushed Ji Kang Hai and said that he was not a trash and would not kill someone he did not like. Ling Yun Fan walked out of the room, and Ji Kang Hai watched the shadows. After that day, Ling Yun Fan suddenly realized something. We need to be confident people. How can love and learning be anything? I can't even remember what happened next. I can only remember two things that happened in the first place. So the quiet struggle of Ling Yunfan and Ji Kanghai began to become a clear struggle. The smell of gunpowder between them 10 streets away could also be smelled. They are in the race, and they are also in the sports league. While Ling Yunfan was warming up, Ji Kanghai stared at him. Ling Yunfan was not sure what Ji Kanghai was looking at. Want to explore the competition? A hand reached over Ling Yunfan's shoulder. This guy wants Ling Yunfan to take it easy on him. Ling Yunfan replied that it couldn't be helped. I'm sure it was the top one. Ji Kanghai teases Ling Yunfan. The competition is about to start. Some people are still there to laugh, so they want to take the top one. The teacher asked everyone to gather their positions quickly. The competition was about to begin. A gunshot announces that the contest has started. The last sticks of the 4 classes, including Ji Kanghai, certainly did not run past me. Just the previous 3 sticks do not occur problems. I can definitely take the top one. I'm really scared of what comes out of that. The leg may be broken, blood may flow. Ji Kanghai must definitely lose. Ji Kanghai followed Ling Yunfan. He chased me away. Ling Yunfan's leg suddenly became twisted. It made him fall forward. Ji Kanghai looked on with a worried face. Ling Yunfan is trying to win. Not being able to fall and get up will definitely lose time. Only 1 or 2 meters to reach the finish line, not equal to. Ling Yunfan flew out ahead to finish in front of Ji Kanghai. Did I win the Ji Kanghai? Your teammates are worried about Ling Yunfan. Why are you taking such risks? What if you get hurt? Ling Yunfan laughed. Ha ha, I won. Ling Yunfan's leg hurt. His teammates had to take him to the medical room. Ling Yunfan won't understand why she won over Ji Kanghai. His friend explained that when he fell, Ji Kanghai was startled, so Ji Kanghai stopped. I scared him. We both ran. I could scare him. Whoever said it wasn't that kid who didn't look at the finish line was just looking at you. Probably wanted to see if you passed him. He should have been in the top 2. His classmate told Ling Yunfan to rest well. He had to go to the closing ceremony, wait for the end, and then come and take him home. Ling Yunfan then told him to leave. Ling Yunfan lay down with a triumphant expression on her face, and after all, she had won. Outside the door there was a slight push. There was a slow walk into the medical room. It was Ji Kanghai walking in to look at Ling Yunfan. It smells good. What is it? Ling Yunfan woke up, rubbed her eyes. Has anyone ever been here? Ling Yunfan wonders why there are cakes on the table. On the cake, there is a message. To the fan. Ling Yunfan eagerly opened the cake. Ling Yunfan wanted to find out who gave him the cake. So thank you very much. I don't know who the cake belongs to. I don't know who the cake belongs to. After that, Ling Yunfan worked tirelessly for the exam, and Ji Kanghai began to miss school occasionally. Ji Kanghai didn't go to the exam. This is the fear of not passing the exam. So he didn't go to the exam directly? Next time you wait for me. He eventually even went straight to college. My classmates are buzzing that Ji Kanghai is the stepson of a corporate president. Going to school is just to experience life. Now I have to inherit the inheritance. The classmate continued to say that he had heard that Ji Kanghai had become a partner with the other Omega, took a year off from school, and returned to study the next year. Until her graduation, Ling Yunfan had never seen Ji Kanghai again. Soon, Ling Yunfan's life took a turning point. During his freshman year of college, he learned that his parents had both died in car accidents. Because his parents never took him to visit relatives, so he could not ask for help, he could only handle the aftermath and the company on his parents' behalf. Taking the difficult step, Ling Yunfan began to suffer from severe insomnia and couldn't sleep for days and nights. In order to get a full night's sleep, you can't help but drink alcohol, even take sedatives, make your body look bad. Even though it was very painful, Ling Yunfan made it through, whether it was illness or life. But the house was leaking and it rained all night, and in the 3rd year of college, Ling Yunfan was tricked by her high school brothers. The other brother used the information of his identity to borrow a large interest. The next day he took the money and ran away, without a sound. In order to quickly pay off her debt, Ling Yunfan couldn't help but sell the house she lived in with her parents for 20 years. We rented an old room in the old neighborhood. The ship was delivered to a small restaurant. He works as a bartender and sleeps only 4 to 5 hours a day. Until Ling Yunfan eluded the debt collector's pursuit and was stabbed by Ji Kanghai. The wheels of fortune began to slowly move again. Then Ji Kanghai took Ling Yunfan to the hospital. Doctors said Ling Yunfan had multiple injuries, dislocated left wrist, minor concussion. Q, are you worried about the doctor? It is not serious. It is all wounds need to rest well. Pay attention to eating protein these days. Ji Kanghai went to the room to visit Ling Yunfan. Ling Yunfan was staring at Ji Kanghai. Ling Yunfan asked where this was. Who are you? Ling Yunfan doesn't know who she is. I'm sorry, Who is it again? The doctor was probing Ling Yunfan's condition by asking him, do you know what this is? What's the point? Ling Yunfan quickly replied, water, thirst can be drunk. The doctor ordered me to read this. The doctor stared at Ji Kanghai and said, "Wait a moment, I will inform you of your condition." I feel a little nervous and I say, "Okay, thank you." There was a knock on the door outside. Ji Kanghai looked at Ling Yunfan with a worried expression, as if she was trying to hide her concern. Ling Yunfan glanced at Ji Kanghai, sipping as if pondering something. Jen asked, "Does it hurt in you?" Ling Yunfan answered, "Huh? Oh. No pain, it's okay." Ji Kanghai took a knife and began to peel the apple, but while making a tense expression. Ji Kanghai finished paring an apple and happily handed it to Ling Yunfan. Ling Yunfan took it and quickly said, "Thank you." Then, Ji Kanghai took the towel and wiped her hands clean. Ling Yunfan saw Ji Kanghai's hands and felt they were quite beautiful. Ji Kanghai asked Ling Yunfan, "Do you really not remember who I am?" Ling Yunfan seemed to be choking up, as if she was trying to recall information about Ji Kanghai. Then Ling Yunfan closed her eyes and swallowed, seemingly trying to contain her emotions. Ling Yunfan said that without remembering any more, it seems that he really didn't realize or had forgotten about Ji Kanghai. Ji Kanghai introduced herself, "My name is Ji Kanghai, are you impressed? So, do you remember who you are? Where is the house?" But Ling Yunfan shook his head, saying he couldn't remember. Ji Kanghai asked about the past, "Don't you remember?" Ling Yunfan said, "Yes. I don't remember." Ji Kanghai put her finger to her mouth and thought about something, which seemed to be pondering or reflecting on the current situation. Ji Kanghai tilted his head and asked, "Don't you ask me what kind of relationship you have?" Ling Yunfan replied in surprise, "What relation?" Ji Kanghai was about to say something more, when suddenly there was a knock on the door from outside. "I'm the boss who calls Ji Kang across the room. He has something to say." And then he took his jacket and he said, "Wait a minute, I'll tell you." The doctor said that the patient's brain does not detect brain damage, organic denaturation or degenerative disease. This time the memory loss may be related to other psychological nerves. Ji Kanghai asked the doctor about how much Ling Yunfan's memory was restored. Your doctor responds with uncertainty, and if you want to recover, you may need to examine your nervous system or your psyche. Ji Kanghai said, "No, I want to know, is there a way that he cannot recover his memory for the rest of his life?" Ji Kanghai wants to know when Ling Yunfan can be discharged from the hospital. The doctor wondered why he wanted the patient to leave so early. The doctor said to observe for an hour, and if there were no major problems, then you could go home and rest. Ji Kanghai thanked the doctor for his assistance. "Thank you, doctor. And I hope you can keep the fact that I brought Ling Yunfan to the clinic a secret," Ji Kanghai said in a sincere tone. The doctor nodded, agreeing to keep it quiet, understanding that sometimes small secrets can bring great peace. Ling Yunfan never thought that many years after meeting Ji Kanghai again, the situation would still be the same. On the car, Ji Kanghai was as radiant as ever, while he was pathetic under the car. Faced with this dilemma, Ling Yunfan could only think about escaping. Because of her poor self-esteem, Ling Yunfan suddenly developed an acting talent that she had never seen for 20 years, and decided to pretend to have amnesia. Ling Yun thought to himself, "Fortunately, it does not affect the road, so when you are not exposed, quickly leave." This decision came as fast as lightning, and he quickly slipped away, thinking to himself that later he and Ji Kang would go their separate ways. The river would not violate the well. But unfortunately, just as he was about to walk away, he heard the knob of the door outside. Ling Yunfan immediately tensed, wondering if Ji Kanghai had returned. He stood still, his heart pounding, praying that luck would not abandon him at this moment. The door opened, and a nurse entered, seeing Ling Yunfan standing in the middle of the room. "Why did you run down to bed?" the nurse asked with a surprised face. Ling Yunfan was confused, trying to find an explanation. "Well, I'm sorry, I want to go to the bathroom," he stammered, trying to keep an innocent face as if nothing had happened. Then the nurse closed the door and went outside. Ling Yunfan breathed a sigh of relief, but still didn't dare to hesitate. "What's going on? What else can we find to get out?" Ling Yunfan asked herself. He went to the bathroom, turned on the tap and washed his hands, letting the cool water calm him down. Looking at herself in the mirror, Ling Yunfan thought, "Leave it, one step counts one step." But when Ling Yunfan returned to the room, he saw Ji Kanghai standing there, arms folded, and looking at him with puzzled eyes. "You've been out?" Ling Yunfan thought worriedly. "When did he come from? Do you find it embarrassing when you try to escape?" The two of them were very concerned. "Does your leg hurt? Do you need me to help you to your bed?" Ling Yunfan replied, "No need, I can turn it by myself." Ji Kanghai asked, "Do you feel lightheaded or nauseous? Shall I put you to bed for a moment?" Ling Yunfan said, "Yeah, it's okay, actually I'm fine, I don't need to be in the hospital. The question is your mouth dry?" Ling Yunfan stammered back, "Huh? Oh, it's a little." Then he went to get a bottle of water. use your hands to remove the bottle. And giving a bottle of water to Ling Yunfan, Ling Yunfan said, thank you, and didn't think that she hadn't seen Ji Kanghai for a few years, but she had become so mature and kind. Ling Yunfan didn't believe that Ji Kanghai could be so kind, and that year he always liked to fight me, because the Omega finally did something to me. The man Ji Kanghai normally looked calm, no one could imagine how fierce he would be when he was jealous. It's all alpha, like fire and water. Ji Kanghai made Ling Yunfan sit down and suggested that she return to the main topic. Then he humorously said, oh, you asked us what we were related to, right? Ling Yunfan was drinking water while thinking seriously. Ji Kanghai happily said, I'm your boyfriend. Ji Kanghai said so, which surprised Ling Yunfan so much that she choked out the water. Ji Kanghai went on to say that his last sentence might have been a bit incorrect. To be exact, the fiancé. Ling Yunfan was stunned. Ji Kanghai went on to say that they were already engaged, about to get married. Ji Kanghai said that they had a child. Ling Yunfan marveled. What is that? I don't know if you're telling me how two alphas can have children. Ling Yunfan continued to think seriously. Wait, doesn't he have a child he doesn't want to raise and he's going to throw it away? Ling Yunfan is convinced he is the alpha, and said that Ji Kanghai is also alpha. How could that be? Ji Kanghai thinks that Ling Yunfan has forgotten the past and he will tell him all about the past. He then got up to go through the discharge procedure and told Ling Yunfan to wait for him for a moment. The door is closed. Ling Yunfan held her head in her hands and wondered, was I crazy, or was Ji Kanghai crazy? What does he mean by lying? Not even with a loan shark full of my people, right? Ling Yunfan was afraid that the loan sharks would cause trouble at the restaurant he worked at. Ling Yunfan rushed to find her phone and decided to call her boss right away. What's going on here? Ling Yunfan used her life experience to remind her, there is no cake that suddenly falls down in the sky, so don't worry, you still have to get out first. Ling Yunfan looked around, thinking to herself, there's definitely no boyfriend falling here. Let's go, goodbye Ji Kanghai, I won't see you again. Ling Yunfan was trying to escape when he couldn't remember where the stairs were, when an old man asked the young man, why do you take the stairs? Ling Yunfan quickly asked, where is the elevator? He smiled and said, turn right, turn left. Ling Yunfan thanked him with her hand, then turned to follow the instructions he had given him. He turned around and hit someone. Ling Yunfan rubbed her eyes and apologized to the person who bumped into her. I was shocked when I realized it was Jiang Hai. Ji Kanghai asked Ling Yunfan where he wanted to go. Ling Yunfan lowered his face and said that he was going around to see the. Ji Kanghai said that Ling Yunfan's discharge procedure had been completed, and said, let's go home. Ling Yunfan was bewildered, huh? Where did the house come from? Ling Yunfan was thinking in confusion. Would Ji Kanghai realize that he was lying? Is he intentionally trying to annoy you? There's nothing more to say, and then you laugh at him. Tell me, how come you haven't seen me in years? You've become so down. I'm sure he is. Ling Yunfan was furious in her thoughts. Okay, Ji Kanghai, you didn't respect me, so I'll continue with you, to see who won't stand it first. Ling Yunfan was bewildered and said, yes, go home. If we are engaged, then we must live together. Ji Kang is concerned about Ling Yunfan's leg still hurting? Ling Yunfan replied that it was okay. Then Ji Kanghai hugged Ling Yunfan's waist. He looked up at Ling Yunfan. Ling Yunfan immediately pushed it away and said, well. Can you drop me off first? Ji Kanghai said that he had carried Ling Yunfan before and had never felt uncomfortable. Ling Yunfan asked Ji Kanghai to put him down. Jen laughed and wouldn't let go. Ling Yunfan says that he has cleanly forgotten the stories of the past, and now Ji Kanghai treats him like a stranger. And Ling Yunfan felt very uncomfortable and asked Ji Kanghai to drop him off so that he could walk by himself. Ji Kanghai carried Ling Yunfan to the underground parking lot and let him down. Ling Yunfan saw the car and recalled that this was the car that hit him. Ling Yunfan thought that this car would be enough to pay off her debt. The difference between man and man is so great. Ji Kanghai opened the door and said go to the car. Ling Yunfan thought that no matter what Ji Kanghai's purpose was, I should immediately put down my cards. If I pretend to have lost my memory, how long can I fake it? What's the difference between losing face and losing face now? Why waste time here? Ji Kanghai said that we have been in love for half a year. Ling Yunfan didn't understand what was going on. Ji Kanghai pushes Ling Yunfan into the car, while Ling Yunfan doesn't understand what's going on. Then Ji Kanghai said your name is Ling Yunfan, Ling in the sky, Yunfan in the cloud sailing. We have been together for more than 3 years. Half a year ago, I couldn't help but go abroad because of corporate affairs, so we started a long-distance relationship. I miss you every day of the year, and I miss you every day. But a month ago, you called me in the middle of the night, told me that something had happened to you. After that, there was no news, no way to contact. My heart burns like fire, throwing everything away and coming back to the country to find you. Last night, you finally reached out to me, told me where to go, told me to pick you up. I was driving down the street looking for you, and you suddenly burst out of the alley. He hit my car and fainted, so I took him to the hospital. Ji Kang-hai asked Ling Yun-fan what impressed her. Ling Yun-fan wondered how Ji Kang-hai could not have changed her face when she said such things that were both true and false. This makes him doubt himself, whether the car accident may have sent him to a parallel world. Ling Yun-fan said that he couldn't remember. And then, Jen said, "It's all right. Anyway, I found you." Ji Kang-hai suggested Ling Yun-fan to rest for a while, saying that the house would not be far away. Ling Yun-fan felt curious what the house Ji Kang-hai talked about would look like. Ji Kang-hai takes Ling Yun-fan to her 11th floor apartment. Ling Yun-fan looked around and realized that this was a high-class mansion, but it didn't look like a living person's house and it looked like a gallery. He gently asked Ji Kang-hai, "This is our previous house, huh?" Ji Kang-hai said that he had only been there 2 or 3 times. "The house was still mine, but I had gone abroad half a year ago. The day he disappeared, no one knew why, just took the rest of his belongings with him." Ji Kang-hai took out a sandal in the house. He handed it to Ling Yun-fan and said, "Bring it in, don't stand there anymore. The doctor says you need to rest well." And then he went to pour water, and then give it to Ling Yun-fan. "Hey, do you still feel dizzy?" Ling Yun-fan didn't feel dizzy at first, but after Ji Kang-hai did, he felt a little dizzy again. Ling Yun-fan said that there was some pain in the area, but he did not feel dizzy. Ji Kang-hai immediately reached out to touch the sore spot on Ling Yun-fan's face. Ji Kang-hai said, "It's very swollen, I'll put povidone on you," and he felt heartbroken, and turn around to look for the medicine. Use a cotton swab and apply medicine to the wound. Ling Yun-fan felt a burning pain and pulled Ji Kang-hai's shirt with her hand, but Ling Yun-fan quickly withdrew his hand, afraid of ruining Ji Kang-hai's expensive shirt. But Ji Kang-hai said that he only needed 1 shirt, and if he wanted 2, he could bite him. Suddenly, outside the doorbell rang. Ji Kang-hai, "Get some fast food and tell Ling Yun-fan to wait." Ling Yun-fan looked at the pile of things and said, "Here. Is this a lot of stuff? These things must be expensive, right?" Ji Kang-hai wants Ling Yun-fan to eat a lot. Ji Kang-hai's interest made Ling Yun-fan feel like she was starving to death. For a moment, he even felt that he had lost his memory. "Ji Kang-hai is also really my boyfriend." Ling Yun-fan laughed while imagining things, so she didn't listen to Ji Kang-hai's words. Ling Yun-fan shouted, "Don't look at me anymore, just eat quickly." The phone on the table went up. Ji Kang-hai looked at his phone. Ji Kang-hai to take the phone. Ling Yun-fan happily continued to eat. Ji Kang-hai had to go to the company for a trip. Ji Kang-hai said to Ling Yun-fan, "Eat slowly. After eating, put your chopsticks on the table. When you come back, you will pack." No. It's good to eat and then go, isn't it so urgent?" Ji Kang-hai said it was urgent to leave. Ling Yun-fan no longer enjoyed eating. "You put food in the kitchen." I opened the refrigerator to pour into the refrigerator but noticed in the refrigerator nothing. Ling Yun-fan suddenly thought, "Wait, isn't now the best time to leave? Why did Jiang Hai lead me home?" Assumption 1. He found out he was lying. "I want you to laugh at me after a fight." Second guess, he thought he was losing his memory. According to the expression "after he brought me back," the first thought was completely incorrect, so it's just. He really thought I was losing my memory, and at the same time, he felt bad for me, so he decided to take responsibility, so he took me back home to take care of me. I can't believe he's grown up so much over the years, not counting the old days. No matter what the circumstances, running is a must. That doesn't seem right. Wait. If it's the second situation, then not only will I make people pay for their medicine in advance, but I'll also eat one of his free meals. Write a little explanation paper for him. Is this house really occupied by anyone? I can still find a pen and write. Ling Yun-fan was seeing something on the table. He quickly picked up his hand and looked. This is a picture of Ji Kang-hai holding a medal. This photo was taken at the 11th grade school. Ling Yun-fan suddenly saw a person standing in the same frame as Ji Kang-hai. If I remember correctly, his name was Rong John, Chinese. Ji Kang-hai already has a lover. Why did she lie about us being engaged? For the sake of fun? That's impossible. Ling Yun-fan continued to see, wait, this place. I can't believe I photographed myself. I was so stupid then too. Ji Kang-hai probably didn't pay attention to me when choosing this photo, otherwise he wouldn't have used it. Hopefully he'll never find out about it, because it's too obnoxious. If the search continues like this, it is possible that Ji Kang-hai will return and find out. Stop leaving, don't leave any more messages, it's just running away. 5 minutes later, Ling Yun-fan was still unable to open the door. Wherever it looked like a doorknob, Ling Yun-fan had already tried turning it, but the door wouldn't budge. How do I open it? Knowing yourself, the correct location and function of a door is very important in the workplace of the person. If it's a door, in addition to the anti-theft function, you also have to think about how the owner can open it quickly. Do you get it? And suddenly the door shut. Is Ji Kang-hai back? Ling Yun-fan was back and fell down. The door opened, and Ji Kang-hai was back. He asked Ling Yun-fan what he was doing. Ling Yun-fan pointed to the ceiling and said, "It's nothing, I think the ceiling is nice too, ha." Ji Kang-hai ran up to him and asked, "Did you fall?" Ling Yun-fan said, "That's right, I was walking casually, I didn't expect my legs to be agile, so I fell down." Ji Kang-hai hugged Ling Yun-fan's waist with her arms. "Shame on you, Ling Yun-fan." Ji Kang-hai picked him up again. Ling Yun-fan claims to be an alpha. "I am an alpha with pride." In the innate gene, the struggle between two alphas can lead to physiological struggles. For example, their pheromones can inhibit each other and fight instinctively for resources. This is often used as a way to protect status and power, but unlike the alpha and omega, the pheromones of the two alphas do not make each other lose their minds and do not inhibit each other. What's the point? Ling Yun-fan is struggling. "I can walk on my own, don't hold me and walk around like a doll, don't want to be hugged, just wait honestly." Ji Kang-hai slowly dropped Ling Yun-fan onto the sofa. "Don't let it get to the point where you fall." Ji Kang-hai checks Ling Yun-fan's body for injuries. Ling Yun-fan immediately pulled back his hand and said that he was fine. Then Ji Kang-hai, "Go to the parking lot and pick up some stuff." Ling Yun-fan tilts her head to spy on Ji Kang-hai. Look at how he opens the door. Ling Yun-fan realized that this was a high-class charm lock. Now being held here, it is not easy to escape. And then he fell asleep. A few days later, Jen returned with a bag of clothes. There's also a sleeping suit. Ji Kang-hai asked Ling Yun-fan if she liked it and I didn't like it. Ling Yun-fan touching the clothes, and said he liked it. "If you like, I'll help you dry clean it. You can wear it later." "Wait, you. Why are you being so nice to me? Didn't I tell you, I'm your lover? Is it not normal to care for one another?" Ji Kang-hai asked about the past, asking how much Ling Yun-fan remembered. Ling Yun-fan replied that she did not remember anything. Ji Kang-hai said that when we first met when I was 12 years old, I was so different from now, so I always wanted to ask you, what is your first impression of me? I'm sorry, you forgot everything. Ling Yun-fan didn't forget, he still clearly remembers the first time he met Ji Kang-hai. 10 years ago was the time of the first grade. Ling Yun-fan saw the teacher asking Ji Kang-hai if she was being bullied by her friends. Ji Kang-hai said it was just a joke. It was said that the seniors of the first grade often bullied others, and the one who was bullied was Ji Kang-hai, right? The teacher said that Ji Kang-hai was bullied by his friends every day, but he didn't dare to say it. The teacher told his parents, but they didn't care, and the teacher never met his parents, so teachers like us have the strength to endure. Ling Yun-fan said goodbye to her teacher and went back to class. On a night with a moon, Ling Yun-fan was playing soccer when she saw there was a little boy sitting holding a doll. Was that Ji Kang-hai? After that day, Ling Yun-fan began to notice the flowers. He could always see Ji Kang-hai sitting alone next to the flower bed, when he was silly, when he was reading a book. On the evening of summer vacation, Ling Yun-fan went to the park to play soccer as usual. Suddenly it was raining heavily. "It's raining so hard, I can't play today." While fleeing the rain, Ling Yun-fan saw Ji Kang-hai standing in the rain. "Why is he still here?" Ling Yun-fan turned to Ji Kang-hai. "It was raining so hard, why didn't you go home?" Ji Kang-hai says he can't go home. Ling Yun-fan asked Ji Kang-hai if she wanted to go to his house to escape the rain. When she got home, Ling Yun-fan's mother asked, Fan, who is this?" Ling Yun-fan replied that it was his friend. Ling Yun-fan's mother told you to take a hot bath. Don't get cold. And then the two of them took a bath together. Ling Yun-fan's mother gave his clothes to Ji Kang-hai to wear. Ji Kang-hai bowed her head to thank her mother Ling Yun-fan. "Thanks to Ling Yun-fan." Ling Yun-fan smiled and said, "Don't be polite." The next day, before the two J's left, he took the clothes back to Ling Yun-fan and said, "I've washed them, thank you," and say goodbye. But Ling Yun-fan asked Ji Kang-hai, "Wait, why do you come here every night? I've seen you many times." Seeing Ji Kang-hai falter and have difficulty answering, Ling Yun-fan immediately said, "Forget it, you're boring by yourself. Would you like to come to the park with me? I'm gonna teach you to play basketball." "Hey, here. Is that really possible? What's wrong? Go." So they play ball together, go to school together, have fun chatting together.